One of the reasons I really love being in nature is because I'm surrounded by all its energy. The energy of the water flowing, the energy of the forest, the monsoon mists and evaporating and condensing and raining.
पेसन स्टीवंस, एक कलाकार, एक वैज्ञानिक। पृथ्वी उनकी प्रेरणा है, उनका विषय है, उनकी कला है। प्राकृत चक्रों का वैज्ञानिक प्रतिपादन पेसन की कला का महत्वपूर्ण आयाम है।
This lakri, which is a solid piece of wood, has like flowing energy in it, like beta lakri, and here we can see all the wonderful curvature of motion, and it's repeated in so many different ways. In the water flowing, in the monsoon mists going up and down, and all of the energy of the forest is like a landscape, which is why I think of my work in this idea of energy landscapes, that we are surrounded by energy in the world that we live in, and this treasure of this piece of wood is a wonderful expression of that.
पेसन स्टीवंस साल के 6 महीने अपनी पत्नी लेखिका कमला कपूर के साथ भारत में ही रहते हैं।
ये जो जगह है ये बहुत ही सेक्रेड है, इसको देव भूमि कहते हैं, और ये जब आप यहाँ रहते हैं तो आपको मालूम होता है कि ये कितना इन्फ्लुएंस करती है एक ह्यूमन बीइंग को। इसका सौंदर्य, इसका सॉलिट्यूड, ये जो जंगल बियाबान है यहाँ, ये भी बहुत अपनी आत्मा को इन्फ्लुएंस करता है। और आर्टिस्ट और राइटर्स और पेंटर्स को बहुत सॉलिट्यूड और स्पेस की ज़रूरत होती है।
पेसन काम करते हैं कुल्लू घाटी के एक बेहद दूर दराज इलाके में स्थित अपने स्टूडियो में, और उनकी कला प्रदर्शनियां लगती हैं शहरों में। तो इस तरह इन दोनों जगहों के बीच उनका आना जाना लगा रहता है।
I'm very fond of his moksha painting, that is solution of life, and everybody wants moksha in his life.
You can feel the energy flowing into you.
Yeah.
And that is actually the energy and the feelings with which the artist has painted all these paintings. You know, you can feel them. And that is truly has been named as energy flow.
ये कलाकार 40 साल से भी ज्यादा समय से प्रकृति की शक्तियों से प्रभावित होता रहा है।
One of the things that's really great for me that I enjoy is coming out after a monsoon storm and looking for all the treasures that the storm has brought down from the forest. In many places the wood gets trapped, and this is where I find my treasures. This wood and these patterns in nature, even the smallest pattern, says with more beauty and more power and more force than what I can create. And it's very humbling for me to remember that even as a creative individual, that the force of nature is infinitely more powerful, infinitely more beautiful, infinitely more subtle than anything that most of humanity can do in terms of trying to capture it on an artistic level.
हाल ही में उन्होंने अपने काम की परिधि में स्कल्पचर को भी शामिल किया है। इनमें वो लकड़ी, हड्डियों, पंखों और पत्थरों का इस्तेमाल करते हैं।
What I try and do in this new series, which I'm calling Himalayan Totems, found objects from the natural world, is see what the magic is in these pieces. A totem is from a very old concept from prehistoric man, prehistoric Paleolithic man, and in his simple way of living. The natural world was full of symbols, and people were collected in small groups, their clans, their small associations that were, family origins, and they would develop these totems which would identify the clan. But I've taken the concept to a sort of a more modern meaning, in that these found objects, these natural objects, are totems for us to remember our place in nature.
पेसन जब 12 साल पहले सबसे पहले भारत आए थे, तो भारत के देवताओं ने भी उन्हें प्रेरित किया। सबसे पहले उन्होंने गणेश जी के चित्र बनाए, फिर हनुमान जी के, और फिलहाल वो शिव जी के चित्र बना रहे हैं। उनके ससुर और उनके स्टूडियो के नजदीक रहने वाले एक मित्र की मृत्यु के कारण उन्हें भारतीय अनुष्ठानों और अंत्येष्टि विधियों का पता चला। इस परिवर्तन की शक्ति से प्रेरित होकर उनकी कला ने भारतीय और बौद्ध अवधारणाओं के जरिए जीवन और मृत्यु के गहरे विचारों का लेखा जोखा लेना शुरू किया।
For many years I've read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Over the years, periodically I reread it, and I had been rereading it after Dadiji had passed away, so it was very fresh in my mind, and out of that came, of course, from the Tibetan concepts of life and death, the bardos, which we pass through after death when we are in the process of preparing our next reincarnation. So I spent the whole period in 2007 basically doing first these large suite of work called the Bardo work, and these are some of the sketches of going up into the smoke, and again the energy, the Shakti Prava, the same Shakti that's in the nalas and in the lakri, in the wood and the streams. It's all part of the same great energy. The stillness that was reflected in these moksha paintings, this very subtle brushwork and imagery, I think was somehow some deeper part of myself manifesting it on these canvases as a way of expressing what I strive for in my meditation, to be peaceful within, to be detached, to have a still center of energy that is very, like on the potter's wheel, all the world around me is swirling, but somehow there's a still point.
उनकी कला हमें याद दिलाती है कि हमें अपने इस जीवन रूपी सफर का आनंद लेने और इसे समझने के लिए बहुत ही कम समय मिला है, और हमें इसका पूरा सदुपयोग करना चाहिए।
Protect the environment, help people, but do it in an intelligent way that doesn't degrade the environment, because it's clear that human behavior is taking a big toll on the environment that is ultimately our sustenance. These trees that surround us, they're the lungs that give us oxygen. These nalas give us the water that goes all the way to the oceans. All of this is important for our well-being. If we don't value it and just think about the short-term gains of exploiting it without learning how to live in balance and how to be caretakers we will pay the price